AI music, not just playing around with it, not just testing prompts for fun. I'm talking about actually using it to make money with it. Because right now, you can go on MusicGPT, type something as simple as trap song with male vocals, whatever, and it gives you a full track. Lyrics, beat, vocals, everything done for you. And when you first see that, your brain immediately goes like, okay, this is insane. But then the next question is obvious. How do you actually turn this into money? Because creating one song is one thing. Getting paid from it is something completely different. And this is where most people get it wrong. They think the hard part is creating the music. It's not. The hard part is distribution. The hard part is consistency. The hard part is not quitting too early. That's the real game. So instead of thinking like, how do I make one good song? You need to think in systems, because this only works if you treat it like a system. At a high level, it is very simple. You create songs with AI, you upload them to platforms like Spotify using a distributor, which is really important, and then you use platforms like YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram to drive traffic. That's it. But inside that simple model, there's a lot going on. And let's start with the easiest entry point. First of all, of course, it is content. You take the songs you generate and you turn them into videos. Short videos, long videos, whatever fits the platform. For example, something like this.
Hops can't take no more. Twist and turn, spin around. Jungle beats, they shake the ground. Dance, animals prance, oh yeah.
Now, if you've ever seen those kids channels with simple animations and catchy songs like this one, well, this is one of the easiest ways to start. You generate songs, you pair them with visuals, and you post consistently. It doesn't have to be kids theme, of course, but it'll work. This is the song made with MusicGPT, and I use the tool which is called revid.ai to make the video. And yes, this works, but it takes time. It's not going to be an overnight success. It's not going to be a get-rich-quick thing or whatever. It'll take a long time, but it's a good thing to have. Also, you're not posting one video and getting paid. You're posting every day, maybe multiple times a day. You're building momentum. You're waiting for the algorithm to pick something up. And that's the trade, and that's time for opportunity. Now, I know that this is not for everyone. Not everyone has either time or, patience, dedication to do something like this. Having your own theme page or, Spotify playlist, Instagram page is hard. And that's why you can go with freelancing, because while most people are still experimenting with AI music, there are already people selling it. If you go on Fiverr, you look up some custom songs, you're going to see people charging $20 to $50, sometimes more, for something that you can now generate in minutes with MusicGPT. And this is where the advantage is obvious. You're not replacing musicians, you're replacing time. You're delivering faster, you're delivering cheaper. And as you can see by the prices here and by the ratings, it's a pretty popular option. And for a lot of use cases, this is enough. People don't always need perfect music. They need some usable music. All right? This is the time that we live in now. Birthday songs, funny songs, custom songs, intros, background tracks. These are all things people already pay for. You're just changing how they're produced. But this is still small. The real opportunity is when you combine platforms. This is where it can become a system. So just imagine this. You pick a niche, not random music, a niche, something people actually listen to for longer periods of time. For example, something like lo-fi beats or meditation music or study music, ambient sounds, or workout music. Now, these are not trends. These are evergreen. People listen to them every day. And more importantly, they don't just listen once, they loop them, they play them in the background, and that's exactly what you want to do. Now, you can use MusicGPT to generate multiple tracks in that niche. Not one, not two, but a batch. 10 tracks, maybe 20. You build a small catalog right from the start, and then you upload those tracks to Spotify. but you don't do it directly. You use a distributor, something like DistroKid, or maybe TuneCore, or maybe CD Baby. These platforms take your music and they push it to Spotify, or Apple Music, or YouTube Music, all of it. They also track your streams and they handle payments. For example, my favorite one is DistroKid because you have to pay only $25 per year in order for them to do all the work. And now with it, your music is live. But here's where most people stop, and that's why they fail, because uploading is not enough. You need traffic. And this is where YouTube comes in. You take the same tracks that you've uploaded and you turn them into long form videos, not shorts, long videos. You can see by the examples here, 30 minutes, 1 hour, sometimes even longer. You create these mixes, for example, lo-fi beats to study, or relaxing music for focus, or deep sleep ambient sounds, and these are things people actively search for. And once they press play, they don't skip around, they leave it running. And that's the key, because one person can generate hours of watch time. But the key here is that you link your Spotify in the description, so people who find you on YouTube, they move to Spotify. And a lot of people have Spotify subscription. Not a lot of them have YouTube Premium, and they don't like playing these longer songs on YouTube because there are ads, right? So they move over to Spotify. So you have to link your Spotify playlists. And of course, you can get paid twice with this. Once from YouTube, once from streams. You've got same content, but you've got two platforms. That's real leverage. And the best part is you're not creating new music for each platform. You're repurposing. But of course, this will take time. Monetization on YouTube is going to take time, and you need to make a lot of these songs. So do not think that this is going to be easy, that you're going to make like thousands of dollars the next week. That's not how this is going to work. MusicGPT can help you though, and it can create millions of songs for you. You just put a prompt here. If you want, for example, instrumental lo-fi beat, this is all you got to do. Click on it, click here, and it'll create the song for you. This is exactly what people set and forget. It's really working. Now, let's talk about scaling this, because this is where it becomes interesting. Once you understand the system, you can increase volume. More songs, more uploads, more mixes. Instead of 1 track per week, you do 2 or 3. Instead of 1 video, you do multiple. And then your catalog grows, your presence grows, and your chances increase, because you don't know which track will perform. You don't guess, you just upload more. That's the whole game. And yeah, this site also, this will create the videos for you. So yeah, check it out if you want. Now, here's the biggest mistake people make. They treat this like a test. They try it for a few days, maybe a week, and then they stop. And it's because they expect the results faster. That's why they fail. Not because the model doesn't work, because they didn't stay long enough. So if you're gonna do this, do it properly. Have real expectations. Pick a niche, create in batches, upload consistently, and use YouTube for traffic. And of course, give it time. That's it. No hacks, no shortcuts, no get rich quick thing. If you think this is not for you, don't do it. But you have a system that works if you actually follow it, if you really want to do this. And that's the difference between people who make money with this and people who just watch videos about it. I'm always trying to be honest with you in these videos to tell you the opportunity, but of course, it'll all depend on you. It'll depend on how much effort you put into it. It's not a shortcut. It's not a guaranteed success. You could actually lose your time if you don't dedicate yourself properly. But in the end, that's how all things in life work, right? So yeah, the link for MusicGPT is going to be down there. Check it out. And yeah, I wish you good luck. Catch you next time.